Radwa on Shagger, the split, two female protagonists in the novel. Why did I suddenly jump from Shagger, the child, to Shagger in old age? I reread what I had written, stared at the computer screen and asked myself, should I go on with the story of Shagger as a child, or return to the grandmother and follow the fate of her offspring to arrive once again to the granddaughter? And the apparitions, should I keep them peripheral, mysterious, hovering around the margins of the text, or should I bring them in and narrate some of the tales? And Shagger, should I keep her and let the story hang between us, or drop her altogether and make to was talking about Radwa? But why did Shagger come to me when I set out to write about myself? And who is Shagger? This is Radwa on Tahrir Square, again from Ashour, Specters. When you figure it out, places refer to Tahrir. Places possess you by the right of the space it occupies. It should be place, not places. Occupy in your mind and your imagination, or more to the point, by right of the part it has played in making you who and what you are, and in shaping your response to the world. In the evening, Murid and I would go to Tahrir Square. Students crowded around the stone monument in the center of the square. A few meters away from the heart of the square is the Omar Makram Mosque. Time and again, I would walk from the mosque among mourners to bid friends and colleagues farewell. Most probably, my friends and colleagues would bid me farewell from the same place. Tahrir Square, mere footsteps away from which I lived 9 years, without knowing the story of 1946, the story of 1972, though that one I witnessed and participated in. Those were all student demonstrations. The first one witnessed the massacre of the El-Abbadi Bridge. The workers' protest in 1975, the middle of all these something missing here, in the square, as well as the violent demonstrations of 1977, and in the middle of all these events also in 1975, the funeral of Kulthum. A few meters from the heart of the square is the mosque of Omar Makram again. From the mosque, I will walk with the mourners time after time to say goodbye to my friends and colleagues. I will say goodbye to my lifelong friend, Latifa Zayd. Radwa on using Palestine's history to understand Egyptian realities. Shagger and Radwa in the novel both are involved in research, especially Shagger on the Yasin, and Radwa is interested in the massacre of Sabra and Shatila. I interpret it by its inherent logic, this is the research, as a law that connects events and extracts from the ungovernable chaos and the cacophonous uproar a guiding thread, a light that enables human beings to understand their own stories. Okay, one. Mastering the self through writing. This is Radwa speaking. Writing restored to the woman is Radwa, her balance. Perhaps because the process of writing restored a will negated and paralyzed. These are important words. Negated and paralyzed. Before the desert storms of Iraq. Tackling history, familiarizing herself with it and then knowing it. And the act of writing, beginning here and ending there, to praise the characters and time frames and trajectories, to move quickly or slowly, establish a style, and then substitute another one for it. All this gave her back a sense of mastery over her life, even if it was in a fictitious world. Have 2 more to go. This is Radwa on the final stage of hers and Shagger's story. I wonder, this narrative, suspended between 2 lives, where is it taking me? I stare at the blank screen. Slowly my fingers move, tapping on the keyboard, conflating my story and hers. I stop as if at a fall in the road. And the last thing, this is the last that we see of Shagger and the story. Shagger, the canal, Suez Canal, and Egyptian books. What's come over you, Shagger? The nights go deeper and deeper as you sit there motionless, mesmerized by images that are nothing anymore except engravings on tombs. She's seen the specters of ancient gods and goddesses. She shakes her head. Her eyes refuse to believe what they see. The woman is before her eyes, her body forming a roof over the earth. This is Nut, the goddess of heaven. The woman is before her eyes, her body forming a roof over the earth in space. On her head is a vessel, a belly, a vessel. Murderer, midwife. This is Hathor. Shadows, specters. The specters open their eyes, light their lanterns, traverse the underground waterway by night. Who is this they are telling the story to? Filling him with determination, filling their noses with the breath of life. She wasn't sleeping, her mind wasn't hungry with the past. Shagar was putting her house in order. She has just resigned from her academic post as a professor at Cairo University due to corruption. Setting her mind to rest, she got into the car and set out back to Cairo. Now let's start. I'll read for you. So all the wavering judgments now surrounding the Arab Spring. Specters, Radwa Ashour's half autobiography, half narrative, written in 1999 and translated beautifully by Barbara Romain in 2010, comes to the English reading public just at the right time to provide more answers to the 2011 revolution. The answers are about and against a once upon a time inevitable death of hope in the face of a lifetime shaped by dire socio-political events seen by many as ultimately beyond the control of the Egyptian people. The answers are related to a resurgence was there before, a long time ago, yet pending discourse of control and reinforcement inside the Egyptian psyche, a discourse that was gathering momentum in the air and on paper, by writers like Dr. Radwa, long before its final manifestation in the square on the 25th of January. The present paper will focus on that discourse, I will try my best, this is a summary of it, provided in Specters via the nested stories of Radwa and Shagar, the two female protagonists of the novel, and the topography of Tahrir Square. As the story, or stories are called, the square establishes a tempo-spatial dialogue with both heroines and other Egyptian places in the novel, the most important of which is the Isthmus of Suez, the Canal of Suez, land and Cairo. Throughout that throbbing dialogue, the Tahrir Square sheds its jeopardized presence as a symbol of an eroded, almost lost dream of victory of full being, national and personal. By the close of the novel, Tahrir's present absence turns into a fortifying internal locus of control, a point of reference, a space through which Ashour, Dr. Ashour, her fictitious self, Radwa, and her alter ego, Shagar, all seek to master both the past and the future of a seemingly seamless life, a life burdened with intertwined fears, those of actual previous defeats of Egyptian history and also personal defeats, and those of virtual impending ones. But what is a locus of control? According to psychologist Julie Rotter, locus of control is a personality construct, graphically presented in a continuum scale with two loci of control at each end, internal and external. The scale refers to an individual's perception, and this is very important to Egyptians, by the way, that events are determined either internally by his or her own behavior and action, like the self as ancient concept, or externally through the machination of fate, luck, power for others, or various circumstances. And you can guess what the Oriental point of view is. People with a high internal locus of control positively believe that they can determine the way their life is shaped. Hence, the positive outlook that reinforcement ultimately lies within themselves, while those with a high external locus of control believe that the source of agency that hones the road ahead generally lies outside the control. Hence, the tendency to be negative about the world, a about effective change in the world and about one's place in the world. Two women, two loci of control. In Specters, a multi-layered self-reflexive narrative, the voice of the narrator splits its creator into halves.